SeniorLivingGuide.com podcast discusses topics which are relevant to the everyday lives of seniors and their caregivers. We are joined by experts who share their knowledge on a variety of issues. SeniorLivingGuide.com podcast offers solutions and resources to create the best quality of life as we age. And now, let's welcome your host, Darlene Mahoney.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of SeniorLivingGuide.com podcast. We want to thank our listeners who have been the key to our success as we enter our third season of Senior and Caregiver Resource Podcasts. Our podcast can be listened to and followed most anywhere you enjoy music or podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and even Alexa, and many more. And please don't keep our podcast all to yourself. Share with a senior or caregiver who you think will benefit from the support that we provide. I am your host, Darlene Mahoney, and I am excited to share the news that SeniorLivingGuide.com provides a one-stop shop to finding senior housing, including independent and active seniors, a new home, while providing an excellent resource to assisted living, skilled nursing, memory care, or even home health and caregiving services solutions, and one easy-to-navigate website. So visit SeniorLivingGuide.com today. And I would also like to thank our podcast sponsors, Parish Healthcare and Parish Medical Center. At Parish, they offer the Parish Senior Consultation Center and Parish Senior Solutions, where each patient's evaluation and follow-up care will be personalized to meet the needs of the individual and their families.
At Parish Healthcare, we believe in our community. We believe in keeping our community safe. We believe in the art of healing. We believe in healing patients, healing families, healing communities. We believe in the best and brightest working together for the common good. At Parish Healthcare, our team focuses on you as an individual because every life is a work of art to us. Parish Healthcare, where the art of healing comes to life. Visit parishhealthcare.com/healthaware for a free health risk assessment.
And today we are joined by Toni Quick, the CEO of A Caring Choice located in Atlanta, Georgia. She has been in senior care for over 20 years, and her passion in senior care started as a home health aide. A Caring Choice is a Medicaid service provider for structured family care, which I'm sure we're going to hear more about later. They are also a Medicaid service provider with her adult care facility. The adult care has allowed her to meet many different seniors from all walks of life and the opportunity to work with the healthcare system from the inside. Toni believes that seniors have a lot to contribute to our society if we just give them the courtesy of listening, which I totally agree. So welcome to the podcast, Toni.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak on something I love.
Yeah, we are really excited to have you, and we appreciate your input when it comes to seniors and seniors that are looking to age in place and different ways that they can do that makes them happy. Let's dig in a little bit because we're really going to talk about helping families help their senior and the options that they have with that.
So with the Adult Day Health Program, we heard oftentimes that people wanted to specifically age in place, and that if they had the resources, if they could help somehow their family get better resources, they'd be able to take them in and help them out, and they wouldn't have to be somewhere that they're not as familiar with, or they get to be around their family more. Sometimes when seniors are separated from their families, it's easy for the family to assume they're all taken care of. So, there's no need for me to go over there so much.
Right.
But if you're able to take care of your senior at home, along with the rest of the family, it benefits the family as well as the senior. So from what I understand, Medicaid is different in different states. I do live in Georgia, so I'm most familiar with how Medicaid operates in Georgia. So I do want to specify that. In Georgia, Medicaid has several different venues or opportunities for resources for families to have the senior age at home with the rest of the family.
I was thinking, I just want to kind of clarify. Aging in place would be referred to as someone that wants to stay basically at home versus choosing to live in an assisted living or even an independent living or something of that nature, right?
That's right. Choosing to stay in your own home, in your own community, in the care of your own family, as opposed to something more institutionalized, as you mentioned, like a nursing home. It becomes more group living, and being at home is more family living. And, obviously people would like to be at home with their families. It's just that sometimes it is really very difficult for the families if they don't have the support.
Exactly. So while there's the Medicaid program that you spoke about can be something that families can access, before we kind of get into that, what are some of those benefits that seniors might find and actually families might find as well, other than more often being able to visit and be a part of each other's lives?
So this is my soapbox. Feel free to stop me at any time because I could go on and on the benefits of having the seniors age in place, now that we know what this fancy term means. One of the biggest benefits, in my opinion, is the familiar bond. So I was extremely close to my grandparents. To this day, and I won't spout my age on the podcast, but to this day, and I've had many, many, many days, I still remember all the times I spent with my grandparents fondly and lovingly, and it helped shape a lot of what I'm doing here today. Just the close personal bond of my grandparents made all the difference in my life. So I would want to be the same type of grandparent for my grandchildren. And I can imagine a lot of people, a lot of seniors would want that closeness as well. And a lot of young people growing up would want that type of relationship and closeness. So for me, that's the biggest one. But also, studies have shown that when seniors are at home or with their families, they tend to do better health-wise. They live a longer, healthier, happier life. They're cared for better. Not to say that they don't get or can't get good quality care in a different type of setting. There are plenty of wonderful places. But your family obviously would do a little bit better job. They care for you more. They don't have others that they're care for at the same time, so they can give you a lot more attention. They can help keep up with any health issues that you have going on. I think it also benefits the other members of the family because, and I'm going to say in particular, I just want to mention in the Black family household, the amount of history that our seniors are able to give us is just, there's no replacing it. So, and I also too want to speak to like the family house. A lot of times when seniors are left home on their own, the family home completely deteriorates because they're not able to keep up with it. Anybody who owns a house knows it is a lot to keep up with a house. So when you're there with the senior and you're all there together, you all contribute to keeping up with the family home. Studies have shown that homes are one of the great places for generational wealth. There's a lot that benefits the entire family in helping the senior age in place in their own community, in their own homes with their own families.
I even think just keeping a house clean is difficult when your eyes are starting to, deteriorate. Unfortunately, you hit 40 and that's where it all begins. Even if you had perfect vision your whole life.
And I did.
Exactly. I started thinking they're shrinking the instructions on these recipes on the cans of, the soup. What is happening? And then my daughter's like, no, they're not. You can't read that. I'm like going, oh, this is not good. Not good at all.
Yes.
So it's definitely a significant challenge, and to have someone come in and clean is clearly a very large expense. So having that would be helpful. And then also, I think cooking, you tend to cook less healthier. You maybe just do crackers and cheese, peanut butter and jelly. You don't have healthier meals if you're just cooking for one, or you don't have those fresher ingredients because you're not able to get out and about getting to the grocery store. And we love these food delivery apps. I mean, they're so great, but seniors don't always know how to get on and get that app going and get that delivery of whatever your favorite grocery store is that can do that delivery for you. So, no, I agree with you. But my question is, people have to work. We're not living in a time where you can have like a 2-parent household where one works and one can stay home with the kiddos or whatever, or one can stay home and help take care of their senior family member or their mom and dad, because of just the cost of living is just skyrocketing. How can you navigate that if you're trying to stay home with a senior that needs that extended care more than just evening care or morning care?
Well, fortunately for us here in Georgia, Medicaid started a program which I participate in through Medicaid called Structured Family Care. Structured Family Care pays the family caregiver to pay for the Medicaid or senior member. Medicaid did not always do that. As a matter of fact, there was a time when Medicaid said, if you're a family member, we're not going to pay you. It's your responsibility. You guys will figure it out. You know, they were, in my opinion, a little bit cavalier about it. However, they've since started to sing a new tune and said, hey, we'll go ahead and pay the family member. So through Structured Family Care, if you have a family member that lives with you, they must live in the home with you, and is a family member by blood or marriage, Medicaid will pay up to $1,600 a month to the caregiver to help pay for the senior or disabled person who is on Medicaid.
Okay. And you don't have an idea. I'm asking how many states are allowing this, or if this is something is this fairly brand new?
It is for Georgia. I'm going to say this program started for us in 2019. So it was actually just before the pandemic. So it is so new that very few people know about it, to be honest. I really think Medicaid should do more of a intentional campaign to let people know about this program, because it could help a ton of families. But in terms of other states, I am only aware of about 8 other states that have this program. I would love to see it nationwide. I think it would be helpful and beneficial to a lot of families.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think that anyone that's listening to the podcast that's, clearly not in the state of Georgia would look into what their state offers.
For sure.
And if Medicaid is offered, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I do think it's offered in Virginia.
Yes, I believe Virginia is one of the states.
Yes, I believe so as well, from what I understand. So what programs allow seniors to stay in their homes and communities? Are there other kind of programs that allow this or that are helpful?
Oh, gosh, yes, absolutely. Home health, I think, is one of the more beneficial ones. And that's where Medicaid would allow a home health agency to send assistance to your home. So they'll send out skilled nursing. They'll send out even physical therapists, occupational therapists. They'll also allow for a personal care aide, which is someone who will come in and tidy up, maybe cook a meal or two, would even go do some grocery shopping for you. I do believe they will even accompany you to doctor's appointments and things like that. So a home health agency would provide a lot of help. There are also home modification and repair programs through different counties that will come in, like I was speaking to before, fixing up the house. So say you got a leaky roof, or your house needs painting, or maybe your steps need some repair, or you need railing. A lot of counties will send a contractor over at the county's expense and help take care of some of those things. So I think that's very helpful too.
I love the idea that you would be able to get help with your home, like you said, the leaky roof and things like that. I think that that's every single county across the U.S. of A. should be offering that for seniors.
Yes.
Where would they start to look? I'm assuming it's probably online.
Online is helpful. I find that a lot of seniors are reluctant to go online. It can be very intimidating. Now, I'm going to speak to Georgia because, I don't know much about the other states. This is my home. This is where I've been. This is what I know. So for us, it would start with and this is a difficult word for me, ombudsman, which is a local government agency that's specifically dedicated to seniors. In your county, you have a local ombudsman. agency that could help facilitate a lot of what you need. For us here in Atlanta, we also have the area agency for different counties that you can call, and they'll tell you every single resource that's available in your area.
The Area Agency on Aging, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, that is it.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I think that is a resource that's available as far as I am familiar with, and I could be wrong. I do believe it's nationwide.
Because they are very helpful. So, yeah, something like that should absolutely be nationwide.
Yes. So that would be a great place to start, to get at least references for where they can start and go to get the help that they're looking for. And home health or home care, I should say. I didn't realize you could get help through Medicaid for just general home care, which is great. So it's an option you can use for the hourly home care or the family that the Medicaid program offers.
Yes, most times Medicaid will make you choose and don't allow you to overlap services. So, for example, you could not get structured family care and have home health aid because those are very similar services. But let's just say the family caregiver works outside the home. So you wouldn't get structured family care. You'd probably want to go with home health aid. So the home health aid would come in and do those things and help with the senior while the family caregiver is out at work.
Okay.
That could be very helpful too.
Do you know if the rate is the same, or is that a different rate on what Medicaid provides?
The rate would be different depending on the services that you allow, but unless a family has a cost share, it wouldn't be any cost to the family. So the cost share is when Medicaid says, hey, your income is above our particular threshold. So what we'll do is we'll provide these services for you, but you will have to contribute a certain amount of money in order to get these services.
Okay, wow. So I think that's kind of fair.
Yeah, because different seniors have different sources of income and different amounts.
Right, absolutely. And home care can be such a great resource, especially if you can live with family, still allow them to work outside the home, but they can still utilize those home care services while they are working outside the home. And then they can go to work and not worry. I know that I used home care with both of my parents, just very general stuff, and it was definitely very, very beneficial.
Yes, and it can be, and it is for a lot of families to have that service that will come into the home. I mean, sometimes, let me tell you, Atlanta traffic is a nightmare. No one wants to get out there unless you absolutely have to. And plus, a lot of the doctor's offices and other things are only open during the time when someone's at work. So to be able to have these services come into you or to the senior is absolutely very beneficial.
Yeah. And both of my parents enjoyed the ability to, during the day, have someone take them to go. I mean, my dad just wanted to go, honestly, to go to Kiki's and eat breakfast. But, that was life goals. But
I love it.
But, I just needed to have, an extra pair of eyes on him until we could get him full-time care.
Oh, yes. And having been an aide myself, I can attest to that. You grow very attached. You see these seniors, you listen to the stories, you hear about the families. They talk about when they were young, what the world was like when they were younger. I mean, it does turn into a friendship.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead, and I think we're going to take a quick break to hear from our podcast sponsors, Parish Healthcare and Parish Medical Center. And then we will be back, and we're going to learn a little bit more from you, hopefully about how to navigate this system. So we'll be right back.
Hey, Mom, how's the retirement home search coming?
Oh, my gosh. I'm just so stressed out. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, why are you so stressed? What's the matter?
I don't know where to find anything. I just need everything in one place and know what all the options are.
Does the idea of searching for senior housing seem overwhelming and you just aren't sure where to even begin? SeniorLivingGuide.com has great news for you. We offer a one-stop solution to take the stress out of your senior housing search. At SeniorLivingGuide.com, both our statewide Florida edition book and website are created to make your senior housing search very easy for you to navigate. We provide details on communities, including retirement, assisted living, skilled nursing, memory care, and home health, allowing you to decide which best fits your needs and then connecting you directly with those communities. Visit us online at SeniorLivingGuide.com.
At Parish Healthcare, we believe every life is poetry in motion, motivated by strength and determination. As your bone, muscle, and joint healthcare partners, we believe in blending the art of healing with the science of medicine to keep your body in motion. We believe in healing patients, healing families, and healing communities. For a free orthopedic health assessment, visit parishhealthcare.com/orthoaware. Parish Healthcare, where the art of healing comes to life.
All right, we are back. And once again, thank you to Parish Healthcare and Parish Medical Center, our podcast sponsors. And we're going to once again join Tony and talk more about navigating that healthcare system and once again, Medicaid in particular, to advocate for the seniors' independence. So give us some tips on that, please.
Medicaid, it's not always very easy. It is helpful when the senior has someone with them and try to navigate that process. One of the things I like to first recommend is to get very comfortable and familiar with your Medicaid caseworker. It's not always easy to know who that is. Sometimes they switch up and you don't even know it. It's just the nature of the beast. But as much as you can be comfortable and familiar with your Medicaid case manager, they can really help a good bit in helping you navigate the process. The other thing would be the area on aging that we talked about before. There are lines to me, and this is just me, having to wait 20 and 30 and 40 minutes on the line is very tasking, particularly for a senior. So that would be an instance where I would say, hey, try to grab someone that's willing to help advocate and navigate this for you, to maybe sit on the phone until they're ready to speak to you and then hand the phone over to you. And then it's not quite as tasking after you've been sitting there for 30 minutes waiting to speak to someone. But they do have the list of all the available services for you in particular, because each person's Medicaid allowance is different. And they have all of the resources available in your area. So they are an excellent resource.
Okay, so it's utilizing that resource, but knowing before you do it that you need to have patience, which is definitely a virtue.
Yes.
I kind of, it's kind of like anything that we do. I don't want to diss on the government, but anytime we work with any kind of government programs or, trying to get into anything like that, it's never going to be flip on a dime. It's always going to be a process. So I think if you go in it with the state of mind that you have an understanding that this is going to take a little bit of time, just put it on speaker, put it down, and just, do something else. Time will fly significantly quicker. And have your list of questions ready.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great one.
I would think that would be such a great idea, because I know sometimes we just fly into it and then we don't get everything answered and then you have to call again.
And you don't want to have to call again unless you absolutely have to. But I think a lot of it too is expectation. A lot of what we do in 2023 happens instantaneously. I mean, right away at the flip of a button. But it doesn't matter what year we're in. The government is going to be the government, and it's going to take as long as it takes. So having that expectation that you're dealing with an entity that's like a big ship and you just cannot turn it on a dime. There are lots of other people calling, lots of other needs. If you just bring your expectation and patience with you, you'll be able to get through it and get all your questions answered.
It is not a McDonald's drive-thru.
Definitely not. Definitely not. There are a lot of resources out there. Medicaid, in my opinion, does not do a great job at advertising what's out there and available. So just taking the time to speak with someone with Medicaid, because there are a lot of different programs out there that you may not be aware of.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. So we want to talk a little bit about knowing your options. So what are some different options, or kind of dig into that a little bit?
Well, again, it's statewide. It kind of depends on what's available in your area. A lot of it, too, is based on your particular Medicaid profile. So your neighbor may be able to get a thing, and then they tell you, no, you can't get it. But that would mean your situation and your neighbor's situation is different. So, again, going back to expectation, everything revolves around your specific Medicaid profile, which is a fancy term for your income. I'm just going to be honest. It depends on your income, what resources are available to you, as well as what's available in your county, what's available in your state.
So it's basically qualifications.
For sure.
Okay. So not everybody's going to qualify for this program.
No, that is true. Not everyone is going to qualify. And I'll go back to structured family care. That's what I know best. It really depends on your need and level of care. They want you to be at a nursing home level of care, meaning that you would probably be a good candidate for a nursing home, but we will give you this program to help you do that, to help you live and age at home as opposed to going to the nursing home. So if you need help with meals, need help with going back and forth to the doctor's office, Structured Family Care will pay the family caregiver to do that for you. But so many seniors, I mean, they're moving right along. They have no issues. They take very few medications. Structured Family Care would not be appropriate for you.
Right. So when you refer to a nursing home, are you referring more to like a long-term care?
Yes, specifically long-term care.
Specifically long-term care. All right. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's so many different terms in senior living.
Yes.
And we even have, seniors that reach out that are asking for assisted living, and they have an interest in assisted living, but they don't really need assisted living. They're independent, and they don't realize assisted living is significantly more care than they actually need.
Yes. And in that case, an insurance company like Medicaid would not pay for that, or Medicare would not pay for that.
Yes. Is there anything else that you wanted to add or share that you think would be super beneficial to our audience?
Yeah, I do want to go back to what we were talking about before. It's very frustrating, and it is very time intensive, labor intensive, trying to get this information. But when you do, you will be so glad to have these resources. And even once you get the information, sometimes the process to get to the resource is very taxing. It's very taxing. I'd like to encourage people to just continue trying, continue going through the process, wait the time. Nothing in Medicaid, nothing in government happens overnight. It will take a lot of times. 2 months, 3 months. I've even known things to take 6 months. But once you do, and once you have this resource, they pretty much attach it to you, and you typically, please don't hold me to this, but you typically don't have to go through that same process again. Once you're able to get this resource and they start giving it to you, then everything after that is smooth sailing. But I understand why people get frustrated and then they just drop it. I don't want to wait on hold 20 minutes. I don't want to wait 3 months to get a resource. I understand that. But if you could just hold out and be patient just a little, it'll be well worth it.
Exactly. What is it that you provide with your business, with the Caring Choice?
Okay, so we provide structured family care, which is a Medicaid service or Medicaid resource that pays family caregivers to care for elderly and disabled citizens that are on Medicaid. So it's not Medicare, it is only Medicaid. But again, if you have conditions such as Alzheimer's, dementia, if you've had a series of falls and you're having mobility issues, these are things that require specific and direct care. You need someone to help you with your meals. You need someone to help you with mobility, maybe incontinence issues or toileting, having to go to the bathroom. So these are things that Medicaid says, hey, if you have a family member that you live with that are providing these resources for you, we will pay them to care for you. And so what we do is we get the contacts, we get the Medicaid members' information, we get the caregivers' information, we get the diagnosis of the Medicaid member, whatever the issues are that require care. We send that information to Medicaid. We have to wait like everyone else, but eventually they give us an approval. Once we get the approval, we are then able to start paying the family caregiver. We also maintain a close relationship with the family. If the family caregiver needs some additional resources, even something like respite care, caregiving is not easy. Sometimes you just need a break. So Medicaid will also pay for respite care for the caregiver to just take a little bit of time away, refresh themselves, and then they can come back. So we also find out if they need additional education. We provide first aid, CPR, education on sanitation and hygiene, education on how to properly lift someone, or in some cases, you don't lift them at all. That's an option too, because you don't want to hurt the person who's fallen and you don't want to hurt yourself. So we check in once a month. We have a nurse follow up. So we do provide education as well as financial assistance to help provide better care for that senior.
Okay. So you kind of are somewhat of a bridge?
Yes.
That's the best way to kind of describe it.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So that's what you provide in the Atlanta area. And I would assume other areas that have the Medicaid programs probably have similar services outside of the Atlanta area. You do think that,
Yes, absolutely.
So that's something people that are having issues navigating could possibly look for that service as well.
Absolutely. And I think it's an absolutely great resource.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it provides a lot of those solutions for people that really need help in navigating that. Because you're absolutely right. All of these things with seniors that are aging, especially when it's people with any kind of cognitive issues, are super difficult to navigate. It's like really trying to figure out things in the dark on how to manage it. And you really do have to understand dementia and Alzheimer's in order to best help them. We've talked about this on the show so many times. If you don't know how to properly navigate that, you try to bring them to the present and you don't experience what they're experiencing because you're trying, don't you remember me? You remember me. I know you remember me. No, it doesn't work that way. So.
And then it's frustrating for everyone. It's frustrating for the senior who can't remember you. And then it's frustrating for you trying to force them to do something that's probably not going to happen.
No. And all it does is make it worse for that senior, and it causes them anxiety. So it's a lose-lose. There's no win. And then I think people, when it comes to cognitive, they think, oh, they just stop remembering a few things. They don't realize there's the physical side to it as well. They can start having more physical attributes to the disease. So I really appreciate what you're able to provide to your clients as they navigate seniors and as they're aging in place and helping them to better understand.
Yes. Well, we definitely enjoy it, and we understand the value for a caregiver, just having someone to call, someone to contact. Hey, I'm struggling. Hey, I'm having issues. Hey, what other resources are available? Just having that personal connection, right? Just that alone, it makes all the difference. It helps you be able to continue to provide the care the senior needs, because sometimes it's so frustrating for the caregiver. They're thinking, I can't do this. We may as well put them in assisted living or a long-term nursing facility, but you can do it and we can help you.
Yes, exactly. That's fabulous.
I can talk all day about it. But I think we've covered quite a bit. It's a lot of information, I think, that we've put out there for your listeners. And I think everyone needs an opportunity to kind of process what we've put out there so far.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to include your information in the, each app will have a link to your website so they can reach out and connect with you directly if they have any questions.
Wonderful.
That's such a great resource, especially for those in the Atlanta area or anyone looking to get more information from you, Tony.
Yes, we'd love to hear from them. This is, like I said before, this is a topic I could talk about literally all day.
Well, we appreciate your passion for seniors, as we have our passion for seniors here at SeniorLivingGuide.com podcast. I know that we want so much to be such a great resource for them and their caregivers, and to be able to provide a better quality of life as they are aging, especially even aging in place, to be able to make sure that they have everything that they need at their fingertips to make the best choices for themselves so they can make those choices. But I do love your quote that you provided me about, they have so much to say, seniors do. If we would just stop and listen, sometimes we don't listen. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tony. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please listen to more of our podcasts that are available on anywhere you enjoy podcasts, such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and even Alexa.